the development of policies related to innovation and transformative technologies for circular economy. Through the collaboration of the public sector, the private sector, and the academia, we've been fostering research and innovative solutions with the purpose of improving the productive system, sustainability, and resilience of our economies and social and regional societies. Also with the purpose to provide opportunities in the development of young people and communities through training. With the priceless support of the Organization of American States, Cordoba has participated in Prospecta America activities, a regional platform of technology foresight created in the framework of the Inter-American Commission of Science and Technology, COMSIT, since 2019, that has allowed for the exchange of knowledge, experiences, and resources of cooperation in transformative technologies between governments, the private sectors, and the academia, with the purpose of connecting scientific and technological communities of the Americas to identify trends and capacities and to also approach challenges that aims at finding practical solutions to actual problems in communities through regional cooperation. As a result of this joint work, in September 2023, a general cooperation agreement was signed between the Executive Secretariat of Development, Integral Development, represented by Kim Osborne, and the municipality of Cordoba by the mayor of the city, Dr. Martin Jajora, who is now the governor of the province, to start and launch the Center of Excellence on Innovation and Technologies, Transformative Technologies for Circular Economy of Córdoba. This center will not only provide opportunities of development and the generation of impact in our city, but also it will promote the collaboration among other entities in Argentina and OAS state members to strengthen regional cooperation in terms of transformative technologies and circular economy. Today, we're gathered in the city of Cordoba to celebrate the acknowledgement of the Center of Excellence in Innovation and Transformative Technologies for Circular Economy of Cordoba as a member of the OAS network of centers of excellence in transformative technology. We'd like to thank the OAS officials for joining us and the authorities from the centers of excellence from Mexico, Colombia, Chile, and Peru, the general councils from Peru and Chile, the legislators, local and provincial legislators, provincial and municipal officials, the academia, companies, and organizations that are associated to circular economy. This event is streamed live via the official YouTube channel at Cordoba Gov.R, both in Spanish and in English. We will now welcome the head of Competitiveness and Technology section of the Department of Economic Development from the OAS Executive Secretariat from Integral Development, who will talk about Prospecta Americas and the network of centers of excellence in transformative technologies. Let's welcome Mr. Cesar Parga. Good afternoon. It is an honor to be here in Cordoba and to see the center officially as part of the ecosystem that was created in this region and in this city. I believe that the main purpose of this presentation is to provide you with a little bit of context. What does it mean to have a center of excellence and then what's going to be the connection with the rest of the center. So it's a privilege to also have here with us the centers from other countries that have gone through similar processes. One of the most important things is that each center has its own identity, but there is a commonality, which is the willingness to cooperate regionally in terms of transformative technologies where changes happen so fast. So it's so important to get to know what's going on at a regional level. So in this sense, we'll talk about Prospect Americas, what's the role of the Organization of American States, and also to provide you with the opportunity to show you what these centers do with the following presentations. As it was said before, Prospect America was born in Peru in 2019 at a regional level from the Science and Technology Forum. It's a ministerial meeting that is summoned every 3 years. And the purpose is to summon all high officials to reach consensus and to develop regional cooperation. And so one of the main initiatives was how to integrate technologies into the social economic development programs of the region. And considering the fact that there wasn't a forum of foresight technologies in terms of their social implications, as it happened in other regions of the world where there were foresight capacities, that is to think, not only project or forecast the future, but to work on the future with scenarios and capacities developed in the region. In this sense, the scientific community of the Americas was summoned, and then capacities, experiences were shared by the different experts in the area to map what was going on in the world, in the region, and to devise what we could do as America in this forum. Back then, 10 technologies were identified, 10 transformative technologies. Of course, these have evolved with time, but in general, technologies that transcend the reality of our countries are here on this list: artificial intelligence, big data, robotics, blockchain. And as part of this exchange of experiences, in 2021, one of the instructions and agreements was to have a network of centers of excellence in order to meet these objectives. And together with this network, a chain for young people was also started. And the idea is to create capacities in these technologies so that we have capacities to apply them and promote them in the region and also to benefit from them at a regional level. In 2021, this is the timeline, just a quick overview. In 2021, with the declaration of Jamaica as the presidency of COMCIT, we have the two first launches of the centers in Hidalgo State and Audacia as the Robotics Center and Artificial Intelligence Center in Barranquillas. And from then, we have the generation of centers. We have the designation ceremony, where the Secretary Kim Osborne was there in February 2023, and the center from Chile, and the signature of the agreement with CENIA and the Corporation of Peru as part of this network. And last year, the signature of the municipality of Cordoba, the signature of the agreement with the municipality of Cordoba. We have other expectations from Brazil, Panama, among other countries. So we believe the network is getting a critical mass. This is just a story about, well, some photographs of the event that was held in Mexico. This is the agreement. And collaboration among centers started very specifically in the public policies meetings where the OAS summons authorities. Centers have participated in the dialogues, such as in this meeting last May, and the other dialogues on public policies and the impact of artificial intelligence, for example, where CENIA participated in Washington, D.C. And recently, experts from CENIA in Chile and Audacia in Barranquilla, Colombia, were part of a course for the civil society on the fundamentals of artificial intelligence. These are groups in action. This is a summary of the centers that we want to actually grow this list with experiences of the entire region. And now this is the open invitation. We know that there are other countries that are watching this online. Everybody is invited to be part of this network, maybe not as a center, but to collaborate with different interaction activities and projects. The idea behind the network is not to start from scratch, but to build on the priorities and capacities that are present in the region and to join those efforts in collaborative projects. This is a co-creation and alliances model. So it's very important, for example, to have the centers in Cordoba to plan these collaboration activities in the future. Other essential components, the center activities, to have research activities to map trends, to participate in new projects, training opportunities, to also create a network of experts with these capacities that are obtained via the network, and then to be able to help our countries to make informed decisions on the future, also public policies formulation, and how to address problems in a more efficient way through transformative technologies. Finally, I like to say that the process in the OAS will continue with the meeting of ministers and high officials in November this year. So the participation of centers is going to be very important. This is just an overview, but I believe then the centers will present further information so we can share solutions so that these capacities and these transformative technologies can actually have an impact in our country. So thank you very much. The head of Competitiveness and Technology section of the Department of Economic Development from the OAS Executive Secretary for Integral Development, Mr. Cesar Parga. Now, Mr. Rodrigo Duran from CENIA, Chile. First of all, I'd like to thank the OAS and the municipality of Cordoba for the invitation. I love Cordoba. I love their music. I love their comedians. So I like the city very much. These are things that artificial intelligence will never be able to do, you know. So let me tell you a little about CENIA, which is an artificial intelligence ecosystem. That is, we put together research, development, technology transfer, and we connect with the environment, and we involve other stakeholders in the formulation of public policies in an issue that is really very popular. So we have a number of experts and professionals across the country with different hierarchies. Some researchers are full-time, some others are part-time. We're trying to expand this network. So, for example, we had a meeting this morning at the School of Mathematics in the National University of Cordoba. We're going to sign an agreement to be able to make some exchange in the future. But in Chile, we have about 12 universities, partner universities. Since we are a national center, we want to increase our coverage. We want to have more universities in the short term. And today, we have projects and agreements with the private and public sectors to provide solutions based on artificial intelligence. At a research level, we develop research that is then made available at the member states, and in this sense, all of our research is open source. This is available at code level, of course, and research studies are distributed in different areas. For example, deep learning, vision and language, neurosymbolic, artificial intelligence, something that is becoming increasingly popular. The mathematical foundations behind artificial intelligence, so we can understand what the black box is doing. Neuroscience in the third place, neuroscience and artificial intelligence, in order to understand how the brain, human brain, operates and how artificial neurons operates. And then also an issue, a topic based on physics, which is called automatic learning, so as to optimize, for example, observation in the field of physics. And then artificial intelligence centered on the human being. For example, bias reproduction, how this impacts our society. This is a summary, but about the main researchers in each of these areas: Marcela and Pedro, Paula from the Catholic University, and Marcelo and Claudia from Santa Maria Universities. As regards technological transfer, the most important, we are a center of research from our hearts, but we have this solution as well. These are some examples. Basically, we've focused our research on vision, language, and optimization. As regards vision is this, you may have this in Cordoba, these telesurveillance cameras. So we train a model that retrieves data on a permanent basis, and so we don't need to have someone checking those videos. Those videos feed into a database automatically. And so what we're doing now is to trying to identify anomalies, such as, for example, when there's a car accident, some crime is committed, then the model can actually identify and warn an issue, an immediate warning. Then there's chatbot. The chatbot was trained with a local legal system. I will not play the video because it's quite long, but in the case, for example, a person is left without a job, now they can search for a job in very, very quickly. So the user experience with the state in order to build trust improves a lot with these kind of solutions. This is optimization and big data. It's one of my favorite projects because we can ensure all of the Chilean people that they would have Coca-Cola during Christmas with these types of systems. This is going to be escalated in Paraguay, in Argentina. This is another project which has to do with our communication with Cordoba University. It's a no-code platform. It's a platform that we don't have to write in a code. And behind this, it's the idea that the adoption of artificial intelligence, because we often times thinks that this is rocket science. I mean, there is a process in place, of course, but it's code. The process is code. So if I remove this or I make it simpler for an organization that has a robust data set, that increases productivity very quickly. In terms of disclosure and linkage, we've done very interesting things with children, for example. This is very important for us because we are mainly interested, in terms of this relationship with the with OAS. It's how we can make this available to the people, and to make them believe and trust. We need to develop these kinds of activities because this is the forum, the place where children, will is getting more familiar with these kind of technologies, because when they grow up, then they will have to interact with these technologies. They need to understand the essentials behind it, and we do this via different projects. There's a YouTube series, for example. We also have projects for gender, to address gender gaps, and this is the Latin America rate or index on artificial intelligence with the different sponsors, and this is basically an analysis of the role of the state, and we measure countries. We're measuring Latin America and the Caribbean mainly, and this document allows us to specifically face the issue of policy making. Before we're faced with this challenge with a legal framework that was more of the countries in the northern regions. There are 5 different aspects. It's called LATAM Index, and there's a specific chapter dedicated to Argentina. And I'd like to wrap up with this. I don't know if you've seen this graph before. This is the number of parameters, the number of tokens that were used to deliver language models. Take a look at the curve through the Transformers technology. This is a paper that was placed in Google, but if you have a lot of data, then you can come up with a model that nobody would actually do. Now ChatGPT can do that. This is not up to date. Now, if you have a look at a more updated version, you can see that the curve is still growing. And where are these models? They are not in Latin America. There's a line, basically. You can see the southern hemisphere is not there. Why? For several reasons. This is a Stanford index publication, mainly because we don't have data. The talent, we do have the talent. The data are quite scattered, but computing, we don't have the computing. And so this is my invitation. We're developing alliances to actually Gemini, for example, the latest Google model was trained by using an investment of $100 million just for training purposes. Really insane. So for countries such as countries in Latin America, we are not going to invest in these kinds of high-performance computers. So we need to find collaboration. We want to have more talents. And we're doing this through the University of Cordoba. We're going to do it with other universities to build Latin America sovereignty in order to preserve our mindset, our language, and our culture. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rodrigo Duran from CINIA. We will now give the floor to the director of the Department of Physical Engineering from the National University of Engineering, Mrs. Maria Quintana from Samat, Peru. Good afternoon. First, I'd like to thank the event organizers, the municipality of Cordoba, Argentina. It's my first time in Argentina, and I had a great time yesterday. It was a very special experience. You know, the young people that I saw on the street and the manifestations we saw. And I almost felt, moved to go out to the street and also demonstrate. I'd like to show you what we have at the university, the National University of Engineering, at the Center for Development of Advanced Materials and Nanotechnology, CEMAT. I'm actually representing Dr. Walter Estrada. First, I'd like to show you basically what is our vision and what is our mission at the Center of Excellence. I believe that it perfectly fits with the OAS objectives to form these networks of centers of excellence, even though it may not have much to do with the Center of Excellence of Artificial Intelligence, but maybe developing some materials at these centers, we could develop some devices that could support the work that you're proposing. So the vision of the Center of Excellence is to promote or to develop materials, specifically nanomaterials. And the mission to build a place where we could perform the appropriate analysis. We are within the School of Science, so we have researchers, chemical engineers, mathematicians that support the development of this center. And we want to develop human resources in the whole area, not only Peru, but also to develop collaboration with other Latin American countries. These are some photos to show you some of the equipment we have. We have characterization equipment. We were given different funds from the Council of Technologies from Peru, also investments that were made by the university. We have two electronic scanning microscopes, high-resolution microscopes. This model, for example. On the right, this is a high-resolution Hitachi device that can identify the kind of materials that comprise nanomaterials. We have another lower resolution microscope that can also determine the components of specific materials. Through the funds of the Department of Science and Technology, we were able to purchase this atomic microscope that is used for organic matter, because there is a specific line that is developed for graphenos, and this microscope allows us to identify materials. We also have a device to characterize minerals. We work a lot with the mining industry, They usually send us different samples to analyze the components of materials, and this X-ray device allows us to determine whether the sample is crystalline or not. So we work closely with the mining companies. Some companies have seen the devices we have, and they have purchased similar equipment. And we have infrared devices that are used to analyze organic materials or materials that have some sort of composition with water or some other volatile materials, so we can analyze them through this TGA device. We can also characterize solar cells. We have solar simulators. We can calculate quantic efficiency of solar cells. We also have other devices to determine the size of particles, particularly when they are nano particles. We can not only determine the size, but we can also, through dynamic light scattering, we can determine the porosity of the material. Or, if it's an organic material, how much carbon, for example, it has. In a lab, we have chemical characterization equipment such as HPLC or the electrochemical microscope, and other larger pieces of equipment, for example, this photochemical reactor that analyzes photocatalyzer materials. There are groups that synthesize materials. There are other researchers that are devoted to material characterization, because it's not so straightforward to handle a microscopic electronic microscope. So you need to practice in order to get to the right resolution to be able to determine the material correctly. And as regards material synthesis, it's the same approach. So we have experts that do synthesis and experts on material characterization. My presentation is really short. This is the team of researchers at CEMAT. You're welcome to Peru, and you can also count on our support. Thank you very much. Thank you, Maria Quintana, the Director of Department of Physical Engineering at the National University of Engineering, CEMAT, Peru. We'll now welcome the Director of Talent at Citnova, the Center of Excellence, Blockchain Hidalgo from Mexico, Mr. Hernan Islas Vasquez. Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor for me to be here in this launching of this Center of Excellence on behalf of the Director of Citnova, who couldn't come to this event. I would like to give this presentation. First, I would like to thank the Secretariat of Sustainable Environment, the government of Cordoba, and the OAS. Who are we? We are the Council of Science, Technology, and Innovation from Hidalgo. The main activities are to coordinate and to promote activities related to science, technology, and innovation. The center is located at the Scientific Park. There are 3 buildings. The Innovation Building is on the top left. Then the technology building is houses the center of excellence blockchain. Sorry, the picture is the slide one is going really fast. This is the inauguration ceremony from with OAS. The OAS was supporting us in this inauguration. This blockchain center has an area devoted to training, courses, lectures, and the different activities related to blockchain. The picture at the bottom, we're at the designation ceremony. As we know, blockchain is a decentralized type of technology that provides a transparent and safe means for data transfer and storage, to create immutable records of transactions and events that are shared and synchronized in a network of nodes, so they are not centralized. And some of its applications are, for example, financial transactions, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other kinds of cryptocurrencies. It can also be used to record financial transactions in a safe and transparent way without using a bank. Smart agreements that are executed automatically once certain conditions are met, so intermediaries are not needed. So this makes agreements more agile. Another application is in the supply chains to track products along the supply chain from production to the end customer. This provides transparency, traceability, and it also helps in the prevention of falsified goods and piracy. This can be useful for different kinds of application, authenticity, and the credential management. Another important application, electronic voting, for example, to store different kinds of data that would actually improve the transparency of, for example, elections. It can also be used in the real estate field. The implementation of blockchain technology at Hidalgo State in Mexico could have an important impact in different areas. It would provide traceability, transparency. For example, as regards transparent governments, it could increase the integrity and transparency of different areas, electronic voting, and also public funds management. As regards agribusiness supply chain, Hidalgo is an important agricultural producer, so we could manage their products to the end consumer, thereby ensuring healthy foods. It can also be used in culture and tourism. It could also be used to create more immersive and safer touristic experiences. Currently, environmental legislations are very stringent. It could be used in waste management, for example, which would allow us to trace waste collection and waste treatment that would lead to more efficient and sustainable solutions. And finally, another important application would be in the field of education. For example, to verify credentials, diplomas, certificates, research projects, collaboration with research centers from universities. However, successful implementation of blockchain requires the collaboration of different sectors. I talked about the public sector already, other sectors such as the private sector, the academia, civil society, because with this, we will be able to address regulatory challenges to ensure safe deployment of these technologies. What is blockchain doing? What is the center doing? For example, having dialogues with a model group as regards their production lines. A collaboration agreement was signed with the Polytechnic Institute, the second largest school in Mexico. Meetings are being held with the different government agencies to be able to implement these kinds of technologies in their own areas. Also, dialogues with universities, state universities, collaborations with Praxis, which is a leading company in innovation and technologies, to strengthen business technological strategy. With this, we want to grow, to make a blockchain grow a lot in our state. Since the blockchain center started, we know that this is an emergent technology. We were faced with the fact that there's no specialized agents in the management of these technologies. So we want to develop experts. Since last year, Sidnova launched different applications to cover different positions. So here we want to support young professionals and students. This year we continue with the applications. We're now preparing the people and training people in these kinds of technologies. And we also have developed a program, an international program in blockchain technology supported by CIECAS from the Polytechnical Institute. This program just started in April this year. And with this program, we want to have more experts and professionals to be able to standardize the sections, the areas that I mentioned before, and to expand this to other areas. So this is about blockchain. These are some of the sites that you could see in Hidalgo. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hernan Islas Vasquez, who's the Director of Talents of Sidnova. Will now give the floor to Mr. Reinaldo Villarreal from Audacia, Colombia, who's the Director of the Center of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence and Robotics. Good afternoon. It's an honor for me and my team to be here, the researchers that support me. It's great to be able to engage in these kind of meetings. It's not easy to do these kind of projects in Latin America, mainly associated to technology. So we always need a push, we always need encouragement, and these forums are the right place. So I'm so thankful for the invitation. Audacia is a center that was born. We were a fan lab of a center that had 5 engineers in 200 meters, dealing with technological issues. And in Barranquilla, we had this problem with children, because they got messages. And so with this, we developed a tool. We had to characterize children as fast as possible when they got these threats. And Mari, this is artificial intelligence, was born through a set of questions via WhatsApp or phone calls that would characterize a population, and then this would be sent to experts so that the solutions would be provided. In Russia, it was called, in Argentina, in England, this news began to spread. It was a tool that so many people became interested in, and so the dean of the university said, "You can't be this small. I'm going to give you a building," which is the one you can see, 1,200 square meters, to deal with all of the scope of artificial intelligence problems and issues. This building is quite didactic because we wanted, in America, we have the issue of how to communicate these technologies, concepts. And I mean, we don't usually have the right information. So in this place, we have seed groups. It's open to the public. They can come and they can get training. They can get in contact with the researchers that are working at the center. This place was known for using different activities, games, for example, because when you speak with workers from a company and with managers who are the decision makers of a company, and then show them the topic in a more playful way, they were able to conceptualize this and be able to apply it in the industry without using a replacement, but transformation, job transformation, not job replacement, which is our main focus at the center. Our achievements. First year, we developed a first patent, then 2 in the second year, then so we have 4 patents so far, 27 patents that are under study. As you can see, an exponential growth in terms of the development of new knowledge related to artificial intelligence. So the mission is to foster the use of artificial technology. We believe that, as Rodrigo said, there's a lot of talent to develop these trends. The problem in Latin America, and this is rather implementation, communication, acceptance, and adoption of technologies. We have over 20 high-impact publications, 30 active researchers, and the university made an investment. We have now 200 researchers in different areas. So whenever I have a need, I can have an expert on the topic. Over 3,000 developments and implementations. Then I can name a few. This is basically our model. It's very important for us at the start of a challenge. We sent historians to first have a look at it, and we don't send engineers because we're not good at writing, and we're not good at storytelling, but historians are, so they can see it in a different way, and then they can translate more specifically what we need to approach. And then communicators. So we have people who are experts in communication. They can actually convey. They can convey the right meaning. These are the different research areas. So we have a lot of an information or data flow. We have a lot of cyber security issues. So we're working a lot on this. Ethics and governance of artificial intelligence is another thing we're focusing on. We're also working on automatic learning, human computer interaction, which is this link, as it was mentioned before. And these are some of the tools we have developed. Our first artificial intelligence was Mari, what I said, the one I talked about before, that characterized many children in a population that children did not have contacts with psychologists. So and then this information was used to decide who needed support. Battery is another artificial intelligence that describes the exam of eye diseases. So we can identify or detect glaucoma, for example. This artificial intelligence was done together with the University, the School of Ophthalmology at the University of Buenos Aires. We launched Patri in Argentina. Biotechnia, in Colombia, we have a lot of problems of plant diseases, citrics mainly. So with this artificial intelligence, we can detect, for example, specifically this disease. What you can't measure can't be controlled. This is our motto. This is why we developed CS, for example, which is a spatial data platform to make quick decisions with artificial intelligence forecasts. Sepia-ROV is an ROV that has been used in Colombia to be able to surveillance the coral reef in Colombia. This coral reef, Colombia was not really much acquainted with it. Now we have gone deeper into the study of our seas. Sepia-ROV was born in a Caribbean island where all of the people, the young people, study at good universities, good programs, but the main focus is tourism because it's the main economic activity of the island. Sepia-ROV created the first company, technology-based company in the island that is called Sepia. So 24 jobs were created. So engineers, biologists could work in a company in their own island without leaving the island. As regards pollution, we worked with petroleum. We have a lot of pollution, oil pollution, soil pollution. we're very concerned about that. And with a laser, then the waves that we get back allows us to identify whether there's pollution or not. And this is also used for explosive material. Hydrops, in Colombia, illegal crops was a serious problem, and many of the people that were trained in cannabis crops, they were behind or outside the law. Now researchers are sort of covered by the legal or the regulatory system. So now research studies can be carried out we agree these kind of places and these kinds of opportunities, this is what we're doing, co-creating technologies. And we're very thankful, really. I mean, the university, even though the university has supported us financially, we're here as a country, as a nation, because the whole region actually supported us in the development of these technologies. Thank you, Reinaldo Villarreal, Director of Audacia Center, University Simón Bolívar from Colombia. At 5:30, we'll gather at the main hall for the designation ceremony of the Center of Excellence in Innovation and Transformative Technologies for Circular Economy of Córdoba as a member of the network of Centers of Excellence in Transformative Technologies. The mayor of the city of Cordoba, the executive secretary of Integral Development from the Organization of American States, together with other officials, will be joining this ceremony. We'll invite OAS officials and representatives of the Centers of Excellence to the Oval Room, where you will meet the mayor of the city of Cordoba and the governor of the province. And we'll invite the audience, the general audience, to enjoy the coffee break. Thank you very much. We'll resume at 5:30.
nación va a renunciar al progreso. Ningún dirigente puede conducir una sociedad a la renuncia del progreso. Y ahí sale este nuevo modelo que nos llena de esperanzas, que es nada más ni nada menos que la economía circular.
Nothing but circular economy. And this is a model that tells us to continue producing, to continue growing and innovating, but everything that we must keep on doing must be sustainable.
Muy buenas tardes.
Good afternoon. We are starting the second part of this ceremony for the designation of the Center of Excellence of Cordoba, and we will now invite to the stage the mayor of the city of Cordoba, Daniel Pacerini, and the executive secretary for integral development of the OAS, Kim Osborne. We have here with us these authorities for the OAS: Cesar Parga, Chief of Competitiveness of the Department of Economic Development; Ruben Contreras, Chief of the Section of Climate Change; Ariane Quintal, Specialist in Science and Technology for the Department of Economical Development; authorities of all the Centers of Excellence for Chile: Rodrigo Duran, Manager of the National Center of Artificial Intelligence; Cristina Flores, Coordinator of the Latin American Index of AI for the National Center of AI; from Colombia, Reinaldo Villarreal, Director of the Center of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence and Robotics for the University Simón Bolívar; Eric Orozco Acosta, Senior Researcher, Professor, Chief of the Center of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, Audacia, for the University Simón Bolívar. For Mexico, Hernán Islas Vázquez, Director of Talent of CIT-NOVA, Center of Excellence, Blockchain, Hidalgo. From Peru, María Quintana, Director of the Department of Physics of the National University of Engineering and the Center for Advanced Materials and Nanotechnologies. And some of the authorities that are not here with us but are participating remotely. For Panama, Eduardo Ortega Barria, Secretary of National Secretary of the Secretariat of Science and Technology and the Center of Excellence on Biotechnology and Health Sciences. The provincial and municipal authorities, the Secretary of Sustainability of Economy and Public Management, Guillermo Acosta; the Secretary of Sustainability and Circular Economy, Jorge Foloni. And now we will receive in the floor from the Center of Excellence of Cordoba, the Secretary of Sustainability and Circular Economy, Mr. Jorge Foloni. I am very happy. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, Kim Osborne, the Executive Secretary of Integral Development for the OAS. Welcome to all of your team, Ruben, Cesar, Ariane, and everyone who's been representing other centers of excellence here from the OAS. For all the ambassadors, other officials, ministers, secretaries, and of course, our dear Mayor, Daniel Pacerini. It was 4 years ago when our then Mayor, Martín Jarllora, had this idea and spoke for the first time in our city about circular economy. And with such emotions and efforts, we started working in the different aspects of circular economy. And back then I remember the first action that we held together, which was the creation of the first social factory of plastic wood with Mariano Oberly, father who's here with us from the Rivera. Then we also created the Constitution and created municipal centers, Cordoba services, and other centers that really improved and advanced circular economy in the city. The Green Center, the only green center in Latin America, and the Municipal School of Circular Economy, which we visited today. We also then have the first circular economy cluster, which is also represented here. Please have a great round of applause for them, because they are really the engine of this quite powerful process of transition towards circular economy. And of course, I would also like to mention the different cooperatives which are working in the city. And then we also had the first industrial park of circular economy, and the first 3 world summits of circular economy with their own circular economy fairs. Now we have Daniel Passerini as mayor, and with him we have succeeded in consolidating public policy further to bring a circular economy policy in the town. Now we have this opportunity to receive quite a huge recognition. This happened in September of last year in Washington, where our then mayor, Martín Jarllora, worked with Kim and had this conversation to start a cooperation agreement which started all of this work and started the creation in our country, in our city, of the first and only Center of Excellence in Innovation and Transformative Technologies for Circular Economy. That is why we are so thankful with Kim for that recognition to our city. And what are we expecting from this center? Well, what we are expecting is to articulate all the circular economy stakeholders, not only in our city, not only in our province, but all over the country. And we are starting to be stakeholders of circular economy all over the world, and helped by the OAS, I am sure that we are going to achieve this. This center will help us work and make progress in the education on circular economy, but also scientific research. And also what I think is most important is that this center intends to validate different processes and circular products so that both national and multinational companies can be certified, so that we know that whatever they have produced really has traceability in circular economy, and they have more opportunities to have green fundings. This kind of economy is empowering new change that we've started with Martín Jarllora and Daniel Passerini. We need to leave behind linear economy and give a huge leap towards circular economy. Thank you very much. Those were the words of the Secretary of Sustainability and Circular Economy, Jorge Foloni. Now we will have the pleasure to hear the Minister of Economy and Public Management, Mr. Guillermo Acosta. Good afternoon, everyone. The Secretary of the Environment has already greeted, as the protocol mandates, the secretary of the OAS and our mayor. We've been working together for quite a long time, and now we are finally realizing the Center of Excellence, which will be incorporated in this network of the OAS. I wanted to tell you a lot of things, but as we didn't coordinate our speeches before, Jorge already mentioned a lot of the things that the city had already achieved and that I wanted to mention. Everything that we achieved during the mandate of Martín Yarlora, which is now our governor, and also now with the mandate of Daniel Passerini in the city. This is, of course, nothing that came up by chance. There's a team working towards this, a team that is integrated by Martín, by Daniel, and that is also complemented by the different teams that are working together. I think this is one of the main reasons and one of the main explanations that explains why everything about circular economy is happening in our province and city. Of course, our recognition as a center of excellence is no coincidence. We are coordinating the network of competitivity. This is a space that is integrated by different national governments, by different national and international organizations. And this network is bringing a lot of tools to the different regions and countries to promote and boost competitivity in the region. You will hear sometimes that this is quite a broad concept, a concept that is quite difficult to define. It's holistic and it covers everything. It has macro and micro elements. And there's a lot of things that have to do with competitivity, but in the end, if we need to make a summary of this concept, I will say that this is something that can end up improving the quality of life of the people. And this is the challenge that we have in the network. A few minutes ago, I was hearing the words of the president of the Center of Competitivity of Chile, and we were seeing how artificial intelligence it's here to improve the quality of life of people. And this is the challenge that we have ahead of us. And something else that I really wanted to highlight, something that also Jorge mentioned, is that we have applied the model of the triple aspects, the state, the academia, and of course, the private sector in this very important cluster of circular economy, which is unique in the region, and that we are now showing very proudly in the city of Cordoba. I invite you to continue networking, to continue working together in this framework of competitivity so that we can continue improving the quality of life of all the people in Cordoba.
This was the Minister of Economy and Public Management, Mr. Guillermo Acosta. Well, now, welcome from the Organization of American States, Executive Secretary for Integral Development, Secretary Kim Osborne. Thank you and good afternoon. Mayor of the City of Cordoba, Mr. Passerini, Minister of Economy and Public Management, Guillermo Acosta, Secretary of Environment and Circular Economy from Cordoba City, Jorge Faloni, officials and representatives of the Centers of Excellence in Transformative Technologies from Chile, Colombia, Mexico, and Peru. Outstanding officials and strategic partners of the Inter-American Commission of Science and Technology, COMSIT, representatives of the permanent mission of Argentina before OAS, representatives of OAS member states who are with us online, special guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to be here today to officially designate the Center of Excellence in Innovation and Transformative Technologies for Circular Economy of Córdoba as a Center of Excellence in Transformative Technologies of the OAS. Let me start by saying how grateful I am, how thankful I am for the vision and leadership of the governor and his administration to set up this center to address one of the most critical needs in our region, circular economy, and also grateful for the trust for trusting us in supporting you in this effort. We're certain that this center will have an impact at a regional and global level. Let me thank the mayor of the city of Cordoba, Mr. Pasarini, authorities and teams from the Secretary of Environment and Climate Change for their involvement to articulate the development of the center and for the organization of this meeting. The network of centers of excellence in transformative technologies from the OAS, where the Center of Excellence from Cordoba is part of, has an international scope, which is called Prospect Americas. Ministers and high officials of the region agreed to share capacities, identify and map trends, face technological challenges in a collaborative and to strengthen public policy formulation. The network has incorporated centers in different countries in the Americas since it was launched in 2021. The objectives are to join efforts to develop collaborative research to face the challenges, social, economic challenges of each of our countries and of the region. The purpose is that these centers can provide inputs to the governments to report or to inform decision-making process and public policy formulation based on data and science. We deeply appreciate the alliance with the Centers of Excellence that have been designated by the Organization of American States that are here with us, which are the pillars for regional cooperation with their capacities and expertise. The National Center of Artificial Intelligence from Chile, the Center of Excellence in Robotics from the University of Simón Bolívar from Barranquilla, Colombia, the Center of Excellence on Blockchain Technologies from Hidalgo State, New Mexico, and the Center of Excellence on Advanced Materials in Nanotechnologies from the National University of Engineering from Peru. The launch of the center in Cordoba is a hallmark since we are widening our approach to include a center of excellence dedicated to innovation and transformative technologies for circular economy. From the Organization of American States, we consider it's imperative for Latin American and Caribbean countries, are not mere as spectators of the breakthroughs of innovative technologies. We share gaps in terms of inequality, poverty, natural disasters, and the effects of climate change. Science, technology, and innovation can be a factor to improve growth, sustainable, resilient growth in our countries. With more regional cooperation and strategic partnerships, we can foster our region in order to transform the future of our people. Transition to a more sustainable economic model is a moral obligation and a strategic decision, both for governments, companies, and the society. The adoption of circular economy will have deep implications for the development of the Americas. However, it requires regulations, principles, and actions to drive it. Initiatives centered in the reuse, recycle, regeneration promote the entrepreneurial spirit, the creation of green jobs, and the conversion of the local industries. In the Jamaica Declaration adopted in the last meeting of Science and Technology Ministers, the member states agreed to strengthen cooperation in order to reduce technological gaps and social gaps, with special emphasis in the inclusion of women, indigenous communities, and other marginal groups. This is still essential for our collective vision of a more prosperous and equitable future. Finally, I am pleased to say that we're working to expand the network of centers of excellence for transformative technologies with new centers of biotechnology in Panama and the Center of Oceanic Technologies in Brazil. This expansion shows the commitment of the OAS member states with the promotion of science and technology as the driver for sustainable development in the Americas. Distinguished colleagues, we are facing a turning point in our region. The decision we make now will define our future. You can count on the Organization of American States. We are convinced that we can build this future where innovation transcends borders so that each community and person in the Americas have the opportunity to reach their full potential and improve their quality of life. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you, Executive Secretary for Integral Development, Kim Osborne. Para los que nos siguen en línea, muchísimas gracias por ser parte de este proceso. Nos sentimos honrados de tener este centro en Córdoba que tiene implicaciones.
Confronting the challenges posed by climate change, and we very much look forward to the continued collaboration with you. And before I leave, in the true spirit of the OAS, como siempre en la OEA, tengo el honor de dar
I have the honor.
de los países de la OEA.
These are the flags of the OAS member states. Mayor of Cordoba receives the souvenir with the flags of the OAS member states. Now the mayor and the executive secretary will unveil the plaque that designates Cordoba City as the center of excellence in innovation and transformative technologies for circular economy as a member of the network of centers of excellence in transformative technologies from the OAS. The plaque states Center of Excellence on Transformative Technologies for Circular Economy. The Organization of the American States recognizes or acknowledges this Center of Excellence in Innovation as a member of the network of Centers of Excellence in Transformative Technologies of the Organization of American States, April 24th, 2024, Cordoba, Argentina. Now, we will welcome the mayor of the city of Cordoba, Mr. Pacerini. Thank you. Executive Secretary for the Integral Development of the OAS, Head of Competitiveness, Mr. Pargas, Head of the Climate Change Section of the Department of Innovation from the OAS, Mr. Contreras, authorities from these centers of excellence from Chile, Colombia, Mexico, and Peru who are here with us today, and the Center of Excellence from Panama that is with us online, members of the local administration, legislators, council members, representatives of the many of the organizations of our city that have been working with us in circular economy affairs, other officials, representatives from companies that have been supporting circular economy and innovation. Today is a hallmark. It's a very important day for Cordoba. We're taking a big step towards a more sustainable, greener future to reduce waste generation and to maximize the resources that are generated. We're taking another step towards the care of our common house, as Pope Francis states it. Cordoba has been working on public policies very hard, policies that are related to transformative technologies for circular economy through the circular economy cluster from the School of Circular Economy and with the support of the Organization of American States. The municipality of Cordoba has participated in Prospecta America activities, driving research, innovative activities to improve the production systems, sustainability, and resilience of our economies. Also providing development opportunities to young people and communities. Last September in Washington, the United States, our current governor, who was then the mayor of the city of Cordoba, Mr. Yayora, signed with the Executive Secretary of Integral Development an agreement for transformative technologies for circular economy. The Center of Excellence of Cordoba as a center of excellence in transformative technologies from the OAS is something we feel very proud of. This achievement is the result of a lot of work from different teams that understand that circular economy is not only an option, it is actually a need for the future of our planet. Circular economy involves a paradigm shift to rethink the way we produce, consume, and waste goods and services in order to reduce pollution, to preserve natural resources, and create new jobs, drive innovation, and improve the life of quality of people. The Center of Excellence for Circular Economy of Córdoba will base its strategies on three main pillars: innovation. The center will become a center of innovation for new technologies and solutions for circular economy. We will drive research, development, and the transfer of technologies to drive the adoption of sustainable practices across all of the economy's areas and sectors. Technology. The center will take advantage of the latest technologies for waste management and the design of sustainable products, implementing artificial intelligence, blockchain, nanotechnology, and robotics to improve the efficiency and the impact of initiatives of circular economy and linkage. Our center will establish solid relationships with the private, public ecosystems and the academia to foster collaboration and the exchange of knowledge. These three pillars will enable the Center of Excellence from Cordoba to become a leader in terms of circular economy and contribute to a greener and more sustainable future for the Americas. The Center of Excellence for Circular Economy will be an engine, a driver for Cordoba and from Cordoba to Argentina in relation to circular economy. We'll develop new technologies to manage waste and will promote the adoption of practices in circular economy, and we'll try to implement them in the different industry across the different industries. We'll promote training of experts, and we will continue. We'll create awareness on the importance of the sustainability of sustainability. The designation of Cordoba as a center of excellence is an opportunity, is a unique opportunity for the city to become a national leader, regional leader in terms of circular economy. This designation is our great opportunity to attract investment, to develop circular economy projects, to generate more and new jobs, to position our city as a leader in terms of circular economy, to contribute to building a more sustainable, greener future, and above all, the Center of Excellence from Cordoba will play a key role in the construction, the building of a framework with the rest of the centers of excellence in Latin America that are already focusing on other innovative technologies such as nanotechnology, robotics, and blockchain. This is an opportunity to share experiences, to connect, to develop, and especially to continue working on the future. And we're proud because we have believed in the development of a public policy based on a need that was proposed by the civil society. As Feloni and Acosta said, our city, in a very difficult time, relied on a development model. During the pandemics, our mayor, then Mr. Jayota, promoted the first summit on circular economy, and from then on, we began to learn, to acquire knowledge from other experiences provided by other actors that actually relied on circular economy, that they were already working in this sense, and we gathered all of this knowledge, and here was the decision and the willingness of our governor to create a public policy. And I was listening to Kim when she said that public policies, sustainable public policies, are the ones that are built based on data, and if these data have scientific support, even better. But these public policies in Cordoba and at the OAS are centered on people, and this for us means to be in a virtuous circle. I mean, to share experiences with our colleagues from Mexico, Chile, Panama, Peru will enrich a proposal that for us is actually an obligation. Our political thinking is driven by a humanistic approach. So regional integration, the development of shared experiences will be, without a doubt, will make this center of excellence a place to have a better city and a better nation. We're very thankful and we're convinced that this is the right way to grow. And we're even more convinced that these kind of public policies that will persist in time, will improve in time, is what our country needs at a time where we live in a city that yesterday, for example, was demonstrated and fighting for public university education. Thank you very much.
We were just hearing the words of the mayor of Cordoba, Mr. Daniel Pacerini. On behalf of the Center of Excellence on Innovation and Transformative Technologies for the City of Cordoba, we thank the participation of the authorities of the OAS, the authorities of other centers of excellence, and other local and provincial opportunities, and all of you present, either in person or remotely. We wish you a good afternoon, and thank you for being here.